Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This is going to be a late report from Monday Night Raw because I didn't see the entire show myself. I was so sick as a dog, I couldn't do much, even much speaking. I missed a lot of work yesterday, so bear with me. I'm still dealing with this. And here we go. Of course, it's going to be about Monday Night Raw and what happened after Raw. And some WWE news. First off, Dragon Gate USA star works a WWE taping. Jericho's radio show returning. Chris Jericho announced on Twitter last week that beginning October 8th, his Rock of Jericho radio show will air every Saturday evening from 7 to 12 p.m. on XM channel 164. At Tuesday night's WWE Superstars taping in Dayton, Ohio, which is the very last internet program of Superstars, because as of tonight, Superstars will not be on live or on the WWE channel, as it will only be internationally shown. Okay, Brodus Clay faced a wrestler named Joey Gray. This was actually Dragon Gate USA's wrestler, Johnny Gargano. Apparently, Gargano covered up some of the letters of his last name on his trunks. Gargano worked the tapings with the blessings of DG USA, as he is still under contract to them. Well, I noted previously that WWE had been looking at several talents under contract to the Dragon Gate USA, and this was one of them. The promotion is willing to release talents if WWE wants to sign them. WWE chose not to air the SmackDown Appreciation Night ceremony from Edge's thing from last week on TV because it was filmed for a new DVD on Edge's career that will be released in the coming weeks. Special guests that were on the ceremony, including former ECW star Rhino along with TNA, and Trish Stratus, and they were asked to arrive at the building at 2 p.m. that day so they could film interviews for the DVD. Regarding Stone Cold's appearance in the Expendables 2, word is that he is not signed on for the movie, but was listed in some trade journals. Stone Cold actually hasn't been contacted about doing the movie yet, but is aware of the publicity surrounding it. New Age Outlaws has a new internet show. Also, the Miz's Parents Speak, and Billy Kidman, and more. WWE is looking for a new senior editor or editor for their website. WWE Hall of Famer Roddy Piper will be appearing for the 2012 Days of the Dead convention in Peachtree City, Georgia, in March 8th from the Wyndham Peachtree Hotel. That's March 8th of 2012. WWE website has a new Where Are They Now feature up on former WCW star Billy Kidman, who is now working as a trainer in the WWE developmental territory of FCW. WWE's website also has a new storyline article up with the comments from the Miz's parents about his release. Former WWE and TNA stars B.G. James and Kip James have launched a new internet show called The Pound O-U-D-K. Well, apparently I forgot what their saying was in the past. Is that, oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody. Well, now you know. And you can view their first entry below, which I showed on last week's program. Hall of Famer Howard Finkel appeared at last week's Florida Championship Wrestling event at the FCW Arena, 4535 Southdale Mabry Highway, Tampa, Florida. Bell time was 7 p.m. Doors open at 6:30. For more info, you can also go to fcwwrestling.com. Dolph Ziggler stated Tuesday night, last Tuesday night, that he sustained a hairline mandibular fracture of his jaw from the punch Hugh Jackman struck with him on Raw, and therefore he would have to wear a mouth guard at the weekend's live events. TMZ reports today that sources close to the WWE superstars say he made the injury up. TMZ adds, there is no MRI and no fracture, although we are told Hugh really did pack a punch on Ziggler and he was in pain. We're told the WWE wasn't in on the scam. Award-winning actor Hugh Jackman describes his most recent role as a star on the Raw Super Show and new film Real Steel in an interview with WWE.com. Former ECW backstage announcer Lena Yada recently tied a knot on Sunday in Texas. The groom is David Draymond, the lead singer of Disturbed. Another Where Are They Now? I named this and I found out that former WWE Women's Champion Bull Nakano, who hasn't had much to do with wrestling since 1996, while she has one more match scheduled, recently announced that she would retire at the show on her 44th birthday at the Tokyo Dome City Hall, January 8, 2012. Nakano who was down to 130 pounds last year when she married kickboxer Daisuke Aoki, has been a professional golfer since leaving wrestling. She recently appeared at a show in Japan, and she would play the Nakano character on One Last Time on January 8th, but would not wrestle because of a 1997 operation on her knees. She is currently eating heavily to gain her weight back up to around 187 pounds at the last word. It's expected that many of the women stars from the 90s will be appearing on the show. Former WWE's wrestler Aja Kong, who teamed with and feuded with Nakano, already has been confirmed for the show. Let's see. The Rock, formerly named as The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, his movie Fast 5 will come out on DVD, Blu-ray on October 4th. Stan sent word that this past Tuesday NXT had 23 minutes and 58 seconds of in-ring action. Part 2 of Where Are They Now on WWE's website. I made up the other one. It's revealed that former Cruiserweight champion and FCW trainer Billy Kidman is now working on the TV producer for WWE. Kidman took over the duties held by Hall of Famer Jerry Briscoe, working with the director and producers of Raw and SmackDown to make sure the matches and segments fit into their allotted time slots. So he's actually FCW trainer and now your director. Okay, here's some other news. WWE superstar Ted DiBiase Jr. is advertising a chance to tailgate with him at the arenas, I guess at the live events. As you can do a video, which I will show on the SmackDown tapings results. And he's it's a tailgate with his fans a couple hours before the live event. The DiBiase Posse is what his YouTube account username. Before the shows in the city, they are running in that day. There are videos on YouTube. Well, you didn't know this? Remember, Clarence Mason, lawyer character. Who was this prior to this? After this? None other than WWE superstar David Otunga, the A-lister. Okay, David Otunga's lawyer character, was Clarence Mason, lives on the form of David Otunga. I wonder how many casual viewers have no clue that Otunga really has a law degree and worked for a prestigious legal firm in Chicago before giving it all up to try out for WWE. It's a legitimate story. Yeah, I wonder how many of those fans who aren't aware of it left rolling eyes at the idea of a guy who was portrayed as a scrub wrestler for so long suddenly changes his look and boasts about having a legal background this week. The transition should have been smoother, and the idea of a group of wrestlers filing a lawsuit against Triple H doesn't sound like a great to television to this viewer. September 22nd, 2011 marked the anniversary of the death of former WWE star and WCW star Ray Big Boss Man Traylor, who passed away on September 22nd, 2004 at his home in Ackworth, Georgia, due to a heart attack. He was only 41 years old then. Former WWE diva Terry Runnels posted a message on Twitter remembering Traylor, her longtime traveling partner. She wrote, quote, "The anniversary of the passing of Big Boss Man, my best friend, brother, father, and yes, girlfriend. I miss you, Ray," unquote. A WWE Raw Super Show was scheduled for Monday, February 20th, 2012 at the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Triple H is featured on the cover of the November 2011 issue of WWE Magazine, headlining reading, "Is he really in charge?" The game responds. Features include Best of the Rock, 15 years of laying the smack it down, Superstar Conspiracy Theories, and the 10 biggest heroes in WWE. I should say nerds in WWE. WWE's house show at the Oral Palace in Tyler, Texas has been moved to January 7, 2012. The original date was October the 10th. And that's 2 days prior to being here in Bossier City, Shreveport. WWE has signed a deal with SIC Radical in Portugal to bring SmackDown to the network on Sundays at 7:45 p.m. right after the recap show WWE Experience. The new deal brings SmackDown to 2 million homes in Portugal. Jerry Lawler is said to be sore but okay after the table shot last week where Mark Henry on last Monday night's Raw Super Show noted before, Lawler will be missing Monday's show, but that's because WWE wants to keep him off for a TV week to sell the injury. Lawler has been given a clean bill of health from the doctors. And I will also show a bonus footage of Shawn Michaels' hunting show with Triple H's appearance later on tonight's show with the SmackDown spoilers. Matches taped for tonight's Superstars from the Raw brand were Tyson Kidd versus Ted DiBiase, which I don't think I got the results from that one. Mason Ryan versus Drew McIntyre, Alex Riley versus Primo and Brodus Clay versus Joey Gray. That was last week's show. Before losing to Trent Beretta in a dark match, Tuesday SmackDown tapings, FCW Heavyweight Champion Leo Kruger cut a heel promo and called himself the most decorative athlete in South African history. Regarding Steve Austin in the Expendables 2, word is that he is not signed. I already said that. I guess I put it on here twice. Okay, on last Monday's Raw, we saw WWE COO Triple H fire both Miz and Truth, whose storyline release were later announced on the WWE website. The Miz wrote on Twitter earlier last week that he and R-Truth will address WWE firing them on Mrs. Serious radio show, First and Awesome. The show airs on Sirius 210, XM 87 from 5 to 6 p.m. Unknown on the exact day that it's said, because it just said on tonight. Well, that report was last week, after probably Wednesday when I got the results. Vicky Guerrero announced that she will be having a live chat on her official website. Well, gee, I thought it was oink oink. On this Thursday's episode on her website, myvickyguerrero.com. Speaking of Vicky, WWE website has a storyline interview up with her talking about potential superstars she can manage. She mentions Beth Phoenix, Natalya, and Tyler Rex, among others. Vicky and Rex have actually been going back and forth on Twitter in storyline mode about him joining her. WWE has launched an official Twitter page for the WWE Network at twitter.com/WWE Network. Retired pro wrestler Jimmy Jam Garvin, real name is James Williams, celebrated his 59th birthday on Sunday. He was born September 25th, 1952. He is still married to the former Precious, a.k.a. also real known as Patty, unknown last name. Well, it might be Williams by now, or still. And the couple has 2 kids. Dark match before last night's Raw. Superstar of Kansas City saw the team of Percy Watson and Titus O'Neil defeat Kurt Hawkins and Tyler Rex. Hell in a Cell structure is hanging above the ring at tonight's Raw Super Show in Kansas City, Missouri. John Cena teased during the Johnny Dare morning show that a cage would be hanging at the Sprint Center. Eve Torres stated on Twitter that she will debut a new look on tonight's Raw. She wrote, "Debuting a bit of new look tonight. Let me know what you think." Meanwhile, the Bella Twins debuted new ring gear also in a match taped for this week's episode of WWE Superstars against AJ and Caitlyn. Joey Styles said of their garments, their outfits were the greatest ring gear in history. Also taped for Raw brand of Superstars, John Morrison versus Drew McIntyre. And it only airs internationally, and here's the results coming up. John Morrison defeated Drew McIntyre. Bella Twins defeated AJ and Caitlyn. And what you've all been waiting for, last night's Raw Super Show opened with normal opening video package, and we're live from the Sprint Center in Kansas City, Missouri. Michael Cole welcomes us to Raw. Jim Ross hypes tonight's main event of CM Punk versus Alberto Del Rio. JR and Cole are joined by Booker T, taking the place of Jerry Lawler, as he's dealing with the TV injuries from Mark Henry's attack last week. And they show the cell hanging above the ring. We go to the ring, and out comes COO Triple H. We see replays from last week at the end of the Raw where Triple H fired Miz and R-Truth. Triple H says he's fired them because they attacked referees. Triple H shows a video package of Truth and Miz's recent actions. Triple H says that he came to him with a weak apology and we're full of crap. He says he fired them and $250,000 each for then use them to get one more main event match out of them. Triple H says it on both of them, but says there's another $250,000 fine for Mark Henry's injuring the King. Last week. Okay, Triple H tells all of the WWE superstars in the back that no one man is bigger than WWE. He talks about firing Kevin Nash and says he will always do what's right for WWE. Vicky Guerrero interrupts. "Excuse me." and comes out with the United States champion, Dolph Ziggler. Dolph and Vicky enter the ring. Dolph talks about Hugh Jackman sucker punching him last week and fracturing his jaw. Ziggler shows a photo of some media coverage of the punch from Jackman. Ziggler says since all the kids look up to him as their hero, he can still compete, but he can't eat solid food yet. Ziggler asks Triple H what are his plans doing about this. Triple H talks about Jackman being an actor and says if Ziggler wants, he will give him some security for when the Muppets are out next month. Then Intercontinental Champion Cody Rhodes comes out and interrupts. He gives his 2 cents in, and Cody talks about how Orton beat him bloody on last Friday's SmackDown. Cody says he's received 9 staples in the side of his head, which was about from this area right here, and they showed a close-up of it. Cody asked Triple H why Orton wasn't punished. Triple H talks about how when Orton handcuffed him to the ropes, he didn't cry. He went and whooped Orton's ass in the front yard. Triple H tells Cody to man up. Christian comes out next and says what happened to him last week was much worse than what happened to them. Christian talks about Sheamus interrupting his match last week and causing him to lose the WWE Heavyweight title. Christian asks Triple H, how is that fair? Triple H tells him it was a lumberjack match and calls him an idiot. It was Sheamus' job as a lumberjack. Christian says he has had enough. They all have. Christian asks Dolph and Cody to join in filing the biggest lawsuit in WWE has ever had or seen. Christian asked for one more match, a Hell in a Cell on Sunday against Sheamus. This Friday on SmackDown, Christian will face Randy Orton. Tonight, just for pissing Triple H off, he will face WWE Champion John Cena. It is not for the title, because he was happy about it, and then he asked if it was for the title. Christian says, this is unacceptable, and walked off. Tonight, Dolph Ziggler will defend his U.S. title against Zack Ryder. This match I did not see. Triple H gives Cody the night off because his staples, but Cody says something smart and walking off. Cody puts down Triple H. Triple H says he will defend his title now. Cody keeps going on, and Triple H makes it a fatal 4-way match, and it's up next. Wait, Triple H says he will walk backstage, and the first 9 superstars he meets will face off against Cody in a battle royal for the Intercontinental Championship title. Triple H walks off as Cody whines. JR plugs Cena versus Christian as we go back to the commercial. Battle royal for the Intercontinental title. Cody Rhodes, Jessica Gabriel, Daniel Bryan, Sin Cara. Not just 1, but 2, so that makes it an 11-man. John Morrison, Alex Riley, Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, Ted DiBiase, and Ezekiel Jackson. And another, I would say it would ended up as a 12-man. Because Christian came in and helped. Well, he helped Sheamus lose. Or I should say get thrown out of the match. And I go into the match back from the ring, back from the break, and all the competitors in the ring. Sin Cara's music hits. Out he comes. They were not in the ring. Out next comes Sheamus to a big pop. The bell rings and everyone goes at it. Cody waits outside the ring because he just ran outside waiting on everybody to beat themselves up. Drew gets eliminated early. Very early. And that was just an arm toss. Okay. Sin Cara runs down and pulls the other out of the ring. Daniel Bryan this was under the ropes. Daniel Bryan takes the imposter Sin Cara and eliminates him. Thus, both of them are gone. Well, they try to fight out on the outside of the ring. It was on the floor. First, Cara tries to get in the ring and argues with the referees, and they stop him. Ted goes to the floor and brings Cody back in the match. Sheamus eliminates Riley and Gabriel. Jackson takes out two at one time. And it's down to Zeke, Cody, Ted, and Sheamus. Zeke and Sheamus go at it, trading shots. Sheamus beats Zeke down. Ted attacks from behind, but Cody knocks him off the top. It comes down to Sheamus and Cody now. Sheamus unloads on Cody, goes for the Celtic Cross, but Christian runs down and distracts him. Cody attacks Sheamus, but he fights him off. Sheamus misses a brogue kick, but hangs on the apron, and guess what? He's gone. Cody swings his mask, but Sheamus blocks it and headbutts him. Sheamus fights Christian off. Cody takes advantage and knocks him out of the ring. Over and off the apron for the win. After the match, Christian attacked Sheamus from behind and knocks him into the ring post. Still to come tonight, CM Punk versus Alberto Del Rio. Back to commercial. Back from the break, and we'll see Mark Henry's attack on Jerry Lawler from last week on the announcer's table. Cole announces that Lawler was bruised, has bruised ribs and anal bleeding. Okay. Roscoe just looks away and shakes his head. David Otunga is backstage talking with John Laurinaitis. I didn't see this one either. They talk about how Otunga is a lawyer, and it sounds like Laurinaitis is going to help him out. Well, Beth Phoenix and Natalya are shown walking backstage as we go to a video package for Kelly Kelly. Kelly Kelly and Eve Torres versus Natalya and Beth Phoenix. Well, their in-ring gear to me was just basic in-ring gear. It's still PG rated. No comments on any of it to me. I actually woke up during this match and I had to go to the bathroom, so I missed most of the match anyways. We go to the ring, out comes Divas Champion Kelly Kelly with her partner Eve Torres for a rematch from last week. They go to commercial. Back from commercial, and out comes Beth Phoenix and Natalya. Beth and Eve start things off with Beth taking control. Eve kicks her in the face, but gets into it with Natalya on the apron. She comes in on a tag, and they double team Eve. Natalya works over Eve and puts her in a submission on her neck. Natalya turns it into a 2 count and kicks Eve around. Natalya slaps her and tags back in Beth. Beth continues the attack until she misses a splash on the ropes. Kelly comes in with a Thesz press off the top and then spanks Beth while she's standing up. Kelly with a head scissors takedown and a face plant for a 2 count. And Natalya breaks it up. Eve comes in for the save, but ends up on the floor. Natalya and Beth double team Kelly until she tosses Natalya out. Beth hits a glam slam on Kelly for the win. Up next was the Mark Henry versus Great Khali. Again, I was out after that match. Okay, World Heavyweight Champion Mark Henry went down for the next match and looked up at the cell. Henry marches to the ring and poses with his title as we go to commercial. Back from the break, and out comes Great Khali as Henry waits in the ring. Henry attacked Khali as he poses. Henry kicked Khali around and hits him with the World's Strongest Slam. Henry yells that he's not scared of Khali. Henry yells that if he gets fined, everyone is going to pay. Henry leaves the ring without pinning Khali, still yelling about how everyone is going to pay. We see WWE Champion John Cena headed to the ring as they go to commercial. Like I said, I didn't see none of the rest of this, the Raw at all, so I'm just going by internet results. Back from the break, and we get hype for Ryder versus Ziggler tonight. We go to the ring where the cell is being lowered down. right above the ring. John Cena's music hits, and out he comes. Cena hits the ring with a spotlight shining as the crowd goes crazy with mixed reactions. Cena says, this Sunday he will go to hell. Cena shows the Hell in a Cell poster with his face on it and talks about the first ever triple threat match in a cell. Cena says that the WWE title is surrounded by controversy and talks about CM Punk walking out of Money in the Bank with it, Alberto Del Rio cashing in, and him becoming 10-time WWE champion. Cena says after Sunday the controversy is over. Cena goes on and says there's no way in hell he loses the WWE title at Hell in a Cell. Alberto Del Rio's music hits. Out he comes with no car and no Ricardo Rodriguez. Christian versus John Cena was up next. Out next comes CM Punk. He's wearing his announcer's jacket that he wore months ago. Punk and Del Rio join us for commentary as Christian makes his way out. They go right at it. And Cena hits Christian with a big backdrop. Christian turns it around for a quick pin attempt. Christian stands on Cena in the corner. Now hits him with an uppercut. Cena blocks it with a kick and hits a suplex. Christian fights his way back from the apron as Del Rio and Punk argue on commentary. Christian with a drop kick from the top and a 2 count. Christian mounts Cena with the right hands and puts the boot to his face. Christian comes back to the top but misses a big splash. Cena ducks and clotheslines him. Hits his normal shoulder blocks. Christian avoids the backdrop and kicks Cena in the face. Cena counters kill switch and hits the 5-knuckle shuffle. Cena sends Christian into the announcer's table and Del Rio and Punk get in the mix. Cena goes for an attitude adjustment on Christian in the ring, but Del Rio runs in and kicks him in the head. Punk runs in the ring after Del Rio, but he flees to the stage. Del Rio says that it is his destiny to become WWE champion again and beat the hell out of Cena on Sunday. Del Rio says after that, everyone can go to hell. Del Rio's music hits as he stares down at Punk and Cena in the ring. Still to come tonight, Punk versus Del Rio as they go to commercial. U.S. Title match, Zack Ryder versus Dolph Ziggler. They go to the ring and out comes Zack Ryder with his camera in hand. Out next comes the WWE United States Champion, Dolph Ziggler, with Jack Swagger and Vicky Guerrero right behind him. They air a video package with highlights from Hugh Jackman's appearance last week. Bell rings as Ziggler attacks strong. He takes Ryder to the corner and nails him with a big splash. Ziggler with a drop kick. Ryder ducks out of the corner and Ziggler lands on the turnbuckles. Ryder makes a comeback and hits the big running boot in the corner. Vicky gets on the apron and distracts the referee. Ziggler blocks the Rough Rider. Swagger gets on the apron and hits Ryder, allowing Ziggler to hit his finisher for the win. After the match, Swagger and Ziggler shake hands before stomping away on Ryder. WWE Tag Champions Evan Bourne and Kofi Kingston run down to make the save. Teddy Long comes out and announces he will have a 6-man match after the commercial, and Vicky must find a partner if she can't. It will be a 2-on-3. We go to commercial with Vicky running to the back to look for a partner. And we have Evan Bourne, Kofi Kingston, and Zack Ryder versus Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger. And who? After the break, and there's no partner. Kofi and Swagger start things off. Kofi comes back and hits a big drop kick for a 2. Kofi tags in Bourne for a stomp. Bourne fires away on Swagger with kicks and takes him down to the corner with another big kick. Swagger overpowers Bourne and slams him into the opposite corner. Ziggler is tagged in to continue the assault on Bourne in the corner. Swagger comes back in and they keep Bourne on the mat. Swagger applies a submission and holds it until Bourne fights out of it. Swagger drops Bourne over his knees. Bourne runs the ropes and takes Swagger down with knees. Kofi comes in and with a big shot and forearm Swagger. Kofi with a drop kick. Kofi leaps up on Swagger in the corner, hits a series of right hands. Bourne comes back in and works over Swagger before tagging Kofi back in for some double teaming. Kofi with another 2 count on Swagger. Swagger dropped Kofi with a right hand and hits him with forearm shots. Ryder finally gets a tag and unloads on Swagger. Swagger shots him with a huge clothesline and makes the tag to Mason Ryan. Who? Mason Ryan? Okay. Ryan comes in but clotheslines Swagger and throws him out of the ring. Mason pulls Ziggler in the ring, lifts him high in the air, and spikes the U.S. champion hard to the mat as Vicky screams at ringside. Ryder hits the Rough Rider on Ziggler for the win as Mason Ryan smiles, walking up the ramp. Still to come tonight, Punk vs. Del Rio in the main event. Back to commercial. Backstage, David Otunga is talking to Vicky Guerrero, Cody Rhodes, Christian, and Dolph Ziggler about unsafe working conditions in WWE. He says Laurinaitis, a man of his word, will do something about this, but they need to protect themselves. Otunga isn't sure a lawsuit is the way to go, but if it is, they need to be together. Everyone agrees, all are in. Alberto Del Rio versus CM Punk. We go to the ring and Ricardo Rodriguez begins the introductions for Alberto Del Rio. Del Rio enters the arena driving a Lamborghini and makes his way to the ring. Back to commercial we go. Back from commercial, and the WWE Champion John Cena is joining the announcers for the commentary. Out next comes CM Punk as Del Rio awaits in the ring. The bell rings and they go at it. Punk goes to work on Del Rio's arm and puts him in the headlock. Punk fires away with forearm shots. Punk dumps Del Rio out to the floor and comes crashing down. Punk throws Del Rio towards Cena and he hits a fan barrier. Cena stands up and Punk salutes him. And then goes back to work on Del Rio. Throwing him in the ring, Punk comes back in the ring, but Del Rio lays him out and goes to work. Del Rio beats Punk down in the corner but misses. When he charges, Punk turns things around and the referee has to pull him away from the corner. Punk hits Del Rio with a knee to the head. Del Rio counters and dumps Punk to the apron, then kicks him in the head. Punk falls to the floor as they go to commercial. Back from the break. And Punk goes at it with Del Rio. Punk goes for GTS, but Del Rio slides out and drops him with a DDT. 2 count for Del Rio. Del Rio runs and kicks Punk in the head. Getting another 2 count. Del Rio works on Punk's arms now. Punk fights free and charges in the corner. Del Rio moves and Punk hits the ring post. Del Rio drops Punk with a kick to the head for another 2. Punk comes back with kicks, but Del Rio clotheslines him for another 2 count. Del Rio charges on the ropes, but Punk moves and he lands on the floor. Del Rio gets on the apron and drop Punk's neck over the top rope. Del Rio comes in the ring, but Punk big boots him for another pin attempt. Del Rio turns it around and goes back to work on Punk's arm. Punk turns it around again, coming out of submission from another 2 count. Punk with kicks and right hands. Del Rio comes right back with a shot to the jaw. Punk catches him in the corner with a high knee. Del Rio blocks the Bulldog and hits the arm bar, but Punk kicks out of it at 2. Del Rio stops on Punk and goes for the arm breaker again. Punk breaks free and takes Del Rio down with a kick to head for the pin and the win. So CM Punk wins the match. After the match, the cell begins to lower over the ring. Ricardo Rodriguez runs in and attacks Punk from behind. He flees the ring, but is stopped by John Cena. The cell lowers over Cena, Ricardo, Del Rio, and Punk. Ricardo tries to get out as Del Rio looks on. Cena throws Ricardo in the ring and Punk hits him with a GTS. Cena hits the attitude adjustment on Ricardo. Punk goes for the GTS on Cena, but he counters. The AA is also blocked. Del Rio runs in and hits Cena with a chair and then nails Punk with it. Del Rio hits them both with a chair again and kicks them around. Del Rio throws Punk into the chair and that's propped up in the corner. Del Rio smacks Cena in the back with a chair again. Then Punk again. Del Rio's music hits and Raw goes off the air with him staring at Cena and Punk, who are trying to recover in the ring. Thanks to Angel Garcia for sending in the Raw show. And what happened afterwards. She said that Teddy Long came out and announced a fatal 5-way for the WWE Championship between John Cena, CM Punk, Dolph Ziggler, Jack Swagger. And Alberto Del Rio. Initially, Del Rio, Ziggler, and Swagger dominated inside the cell. However, it wasn't long before the tables turned after a couple of good spots between Ziggler and Cena, as well as Swagger and Punk, with the other opponents out of the ring. Cena hit the attitude adjustment on Swagger for the win. Well, another report said, just a brief one, dark match main event was Fatal 5-Way, Hell in a Cell match for WWE title, stacking the deck against Cena for the live crowd. Champion John Cena beat CM Punk, Alberto Del Rio, and U.S. Champion Ziggler in a 5-way Hell in a Cell match to retain. Cena won to send the crowd home happy. Thanks for viewing, and I'll see you in a few hours. Y'all will see me in a few hours when I post a SmackDown International Superstars and, of course, your NXT.